Welcome to my channel. In this video, I want to give you 10 tips to help you sell more books on Amazon KDP. I think the biggest question we all have is, how can I sell more books? What's the secret? Well, there isn't really a secret. The main things are to create a high quality book that people are searching for, design a professional looking eye-catching cover, optimize your title, subtitle and keywords, craft a well-written description. And a lot of people think that that's it. They just leave it up to Amazon to do the rest and send customers to their book listing. But that isn't actually the case, and you need to be proactive in sending customers to your products on Amazon. There are a few things that you can do to help get more sales on your books, and these things apply regardless of what kind of books you create, whether they are low content or high content books. So let's get into them now. Number one, create a blog. This is a great way to find potential customers off Amazon who may be interested in the books that you produce. Let's say that you create coloring books. You could set up a blog talking about coloring books, all about coloring books and coloring. Take these two blogs for example. Now, all I did here was I went to Google and I searched for coloring book blog, and I'm just going to look at the first couple of results here. So coloringqueen.net and coloringbookaddict.com. And so these blogs talk about what coloring books are being released, or they do reviews of coloring books, and I'm assuming coloring tools, pens and pencils and things like that, amongst other things. And so you could do similar kinds of posts about your own coloring books too, if that's the kind of books that you sell. You would have somewhere that you can link to your books on Amazon. You may even want to sell digital versions of your coloring books through your blog, but it's a really great way to build a community who you can promote your books to and have buyers already waiting when you release new books. I am going to do a detailed video soon on how to actually build a blog to promote your products on, so keep an eye out for that if it interests you, and make sure to subscribe so you don't miss it if you do want to see that one. Build an email list. The next step, once you have built your website or blog, is to have a page where people can sign up to your email list. Email lists have always been, and probably always will be, the best way to contact people about your products. It's a direct link to them. It's not like social media, where it's up to the customer to come check out your latest posts or products or things like that. An email list gets straight to the customer's inbox, so it's a really proactive way to try and get in touch with your community and customers. And you don't actually even need a blog to set up an email list if you don't want to have a blog or a website. I mean, you would still need a website or at least some sort of landing page where you can send people to sign up to your email list. But if all you're interested in is creating an email list and building an email list, you could even just have a website that is basically one page, and that's the sign up to your email list. You don't necessarily have to have a blog if you do not want to go down that route. Sometimes it is as simple as putting up a sign up page on your blog if that's what you have. Most often though, you will want to give something in return for getting people to hand over their email address. In the online marketing world, it's called creating a lead magnet. A lead magnet is a marketing term for a free item or service that is given away for the purpose of gathering contact details. For example, lead magnets can be trial subscriptions, samples, white papers, e-newsletters, and free consultations. Marketers use lead magnets to create sales leads. Usually you give a downloadable product away for free. For example, maybe you create logbooks or journals targeting the health and fitness niche. You could create a freebie of some healthy recipes or a workout guide or something like that. And if it tied in to your actual book somehow, so if the logbook worked even better with this free guide or this free product that you have, then there's even more incentive for people to join your email to get this extra thing to go with their logbook. Here is a great example I found when I Googled health and fitness blogs. I came across Ellie McGuinness, holistic health and fitness coach. She has this bright freebies button right here to get your attention, and then has a bunch of freebie or free stuff that you can sign up for. You don't have to go to this extreme and have this many free things. Just one is sufficient, but this is an example of things that you can offer in return for an email address. So basically she collects people's email address and builds her email list by offering a few free guides. Connect on social media. Visibility is everything in business, and it really is the main goal of any business. It doesn't matter what kind of business. Your focus should be on being visible, because if you aren't visible, neither are your products, and then no one will know that you have things that they may want to buy. People also like this personal aspect to brands and the people they buy from. It's just how the world has become with living life on social media. It's like we've become more connected than ever, but also more disconnected than ever. The more we connect online behind a screen, the more people seem to crave that face-to-face connection or just some sort of personal connection. It's just being human, I guess. But if you can connect with people who are your potential customers, it can have a really positive effect on your business. Now, you don't have to share anything personal or anything private, any private things from your private life, but even just checking in each day to say hi, show your face, people will love that. They love putting a face to the brand or to the name. It makes people feel like they kind of know you, or that you maybe have something in common, or that there is something that they just feel connected to you with on some level. And this is what turns people or potential customers into actual buyers. I'm just going to take a quick look on Instagram. Instagram is probably one of the better platforms, social media platforms, to use for books, particularly low content books, or some low content books anyway. It's a very visual platform, and really visual is what's going to sell your books. So if we take a look at this particular brand, the La Mer, it's a brand that focuses on planners and journals. They have a really substantial following, but if you had a brand that creates journals or notebooks or whatever it may be, creating a social media presence is a really great way to connect with people, with your potential customers, and to show off your products in a different setting than just the Amazon marketplace or your Amazon sales page. Another one I liked looking at was Pepper and Cute Diaries and Notebooks, a retail company selling stationery for cute people who love putting some pepper in life. Cute stationery available now. And so obviously this particular brand isn't one that is publishing through Amazon. They are promoting or posting about spiral bound types of notebooks and journals. It looks like they're doing phone cases and things like that as well. So the point of looking at these accounts is not looking at the products specifically that they're selling, but just looking at how they are promoting their products on social media and just getting ideas of how you could do something similar with your brand through building a social media following. Another one that I came across, coloring book for adults or coloring for adults. So a great example for anyone who is in the coloring book niche, and it looks like they're focusing on mandala coloring pages or mandala artwork. But if you sell coloring books, you could color them in, do some designs and post them on social media. And if you are selling, it's a great way to get your customers involved, and when customers buy your books, ask them to send them photos of what they do, the designs and the coloring pages that they complete from your books, and then you can start posting pictures of what your customers are actually doing with your coloring books. The trick to social media is just find what works best for your niche and focus on only one or two social media platforms. Don't try to do them all at once. Start a series. This is a particularly popular method with high content books. So high content books meaning books that have written words in them. When people write a series of fiction books involving a set of characters, the readers get so involved in the characters and story. They want to keep reading and finding out what happens in the characters' lives, so they keep buying the books whenever the author releases new books. When you have a series, you create that series in your KDP account, and then when you publish a new book, you have the option of adding your new books to that series. Then when someone is on your product page, there is a little link under the title to the series, which then lists all the books in that series. Let me show you an example. So this is an example of someone who's creating coloring books and has created a series. So if you take a look down here, this is where there is a link to a series. So it's saying that Color That Donut, a donut coloring book, is part of the Color That Food coloring book series. When we click on this link, it takes us to a page that then would list all the books in the series. So at this point, this publisher or this author only has one coloring book within that series. But if they had multiple books that they've linked to their series, they would all be listed on here on this page, all with a purchase button or an add to cart button here to the right. So they can basically just one-click purchase, if they've got their account set up for that, from this series page. And so when this particular brand decides to create more coloring books that are about food, they will just add it to this series. And if people love coloring food images, then they will most likely want to come and check out what other coloring books related to food that this brand has. Now, you can even do this with notebooks and journals. So this brand or this author here has a series of gratitude journals, again linked down here. And so in the case of having more than one, so we can see this brand does have more than one book linked to their series. So we've got book 6 of 7. So straight away a customer can see, well, there's more books in this series, let's see what else there is. And they just create journals for different occasions and different people. So we have just a daily gratitude journal, a gratitude journal for mums, a gratitude journal for kids. And so each time they create a gratitude journal under this brand, they just add it to this series. And here you can see that's linked to the buy button on this one particular page. The customer doesn't even have to go into the product. They can buy it straight from this page. And the great thing is there is this little buy box here where if a customer wants all the books in the series, they can basically just buy with one click all the books in the series. So that is a really cool feature. Use the power of influencers. Influencer marketing is almost, I would say, taking over as some of the most powerful marketing available to us. Influencer marketing is a type of social media marketing that uses endorsements and product mentions from influencers, individuals who have a dedicated social following and are viewed as experts within their niche. Influencer marketing works because of the high amount of trust that social influencers have built up with their following, and recommendations from them serve as a form of social proof to your brand's potential customers. I'm pretty sure that we can all say we've been influenced at some point to buy something after seeing it on someone's social media account. I know I sure have. So why not do this with your books? You can pretty much find a social media influencer for any kind of product out there. This does take some investment of money because you will need to send a free copy of your book to the influencer so that they can review it. Sometimes an influencer will be happy just to receive a free product, but sometimes, especially if they do have a pretty substantial following, they will also charge a fee for doing a review or doing a post featuring your product. But this type of marketing is a really powerful way to get new customers. You can look for influencers on Instagram, YouTube, or TikTok, and you can either do your research yourself and contact influencers yourself and ask them to promote your product, or there are websites that you can join, sort of like influencer hubs, where influencers join to accept products, and it's all done in one place, so you don't have to be spending the time reaching out to influencers directly. So some examples are influencermarketinghub.com, upfluence.com, and heapsy.com. Do book giveaways. Book giveaways is another great way to get your books out there and seen. Obviously, as it sounds, people enter a giveaway where they have a chance of winning a copy of your book. It gives your book and brand more exposure, and there's a chance that the people who didn't win might go off and buy your book anyway because they liked the look of it. You can do giveaways on your social media or through your blog or email list. Promote in newsletters. With this method, you find blogs within the niche that you have books in and approach them to ask if they have any advertising in their newsletters. It's pretty simple. This can work similar to influencer marketing, except it's through someone's email list as opposed to a social media account. Depending on the person you contact, they may have a fee for advertising in their newsletter, or they may be happy just receiving a free copy of your product so they can see the quality before promoting it. You could also use this method for promoting a giveaway if you wanted to do one, or you could use this method to promote your own email list, so you can try to build your email list by leveraging other people's email lists. So you don't necessarily always have to be advertising directly to your books. If you want to also advertise your brand, these methods will also work for that as well. It's just another way of reaching a new audience of people who may be interested in your books. Understand your niche and your customers' interests. Now, this one isn't a promotional method as such, but it is extremely important in selling more books. You need to understand the niche or the interests of the niche that you are getting into. Certain people or groups of people have certain ways of speaking or doing things, and if you don't know or understand that, your book will be off the mark and it won't sell. For example, teenagers speak their own language, pretty much. If you are creating any kind of books targeting teenagers, you need to be aware of the types of language they use, the words they use, the slang, the types of cover designs that would catch their eye, these sorts of things. Now, I've just gone on to Amazon. I've just typed in journal for teenagers on Amazon just to see what comes up. And so we've got here a mindfulness journal for teens. There's some not targeting teens, but here's another one targeting teens, tweens, gifts for teenagers. There's another one for teenagers, travel journal for teens. Now, you can kind of see, especially when you look at these ones at the top, the books that are selling well and target teenagers sort of have these bright poppy kind of colors on their covers. They sort of always use like a comic style of font. And in a way, and I don't mean this in a bad way, but in a way they don't look as mature as what covers of books look like that are targeting adult females, such as these kind of books. You can see these covers are very sort of minimalist and they target what adult females or adults would generally go for, as opposed to the funness, I guess, of what some of these books look like for teens, with bright colors and more artistic-y, cool kind of fonts. Now, something different I was looking at are notebooks for mums. Mums just have a certain way of saying things or thinking about things. They have certain designs they like with their books, and they have a certain way of saying things and talking about their kids and all that sort of stuff that only mums would understand, or parents at least would understand. And so if you are going to be creating books that are targeting mums specifically, you have to make sure that you're designing your book so that it's going to relate to them. Mums seem to love this script style of font. So you will find that books targeting mums are generally very feminine. They always use a script font on their covers. And I sometimes think some of the best-selling books that target mums are the ones that kind of almost make fun of some of the struggles that sometimes mums go through. So Chaos Coordinator, because sometimes life and home life is a bit chaotic when you've got kids. And this one I like, Thou Shalt Not Try Me. I had a little bit of a chuckle to myself when I did see that one. Another mum book that I came across that I actually thought was the perfect example of basically getting it right for your target market is this Mum Life adult coloring book, a snarky adult coloring book. As mums, as much as we love our kids, we like to vent and we like to complain about kids. Our kids sometimes. And I feel like this particular book has just hit the mark with targeting mums. A snarky adult coloring book with this cool little description. It's 6:30 p.m. By some miracle, one of your kids is asleep while the other is watching cartoons in a food coma. Quick, here's your chance. Grab some markers, this coloring book, and run to the bathroom. Don't forget the wine. First, lock the door. Enjoy the solid of private urination. Second, gulp down that wine and enjoy the most relaxing 5 minutes of your day as you surrender to the quietness and creativity of coloring. Celebrate the humor and frustration that are the highs and lows of motherhood featured in the pages of this book. Any mum would relate to that. And if we take a look here at some of the pages within the book, this is my circus. These are my monkeys. Doorbell broken like your face if you ring it. Yes, never disrupt nap time. My little monsters. I look so peaceful when my kids are sleeping. And Serenity Now. So it's just a little inside joke. Obviously, not everyone's going to get it. If you don't have kids, you probably don't understand why people would find this so funny or just so popular. But that's the point. When you know your customer that well, that's when your books can do really well. Participate in Facebook groups. Find Facebook groups that are centered around your niche and participate. Don't just join with the intention of only making posts promoting your books. Actually get involved. Make helpful posts. Comment on other people's posts and generally just interact and be helpful. Then, when there is the chance to talk about your books or your brand, the members of the group will be more willing to read your post and hopefully go check out your books. So just head over to Facebook and search for groups in your niche. Please make sure to read the rules of the group to make sure that you know what you are and are not allowed to post, because some groups will not allow promotion of any kind. So just try to find the ones that has the potential that you will be able to promote your books at some point. Use Author Central to your advantage. The Author Central part of your KDP account is such an underrated way to sell more books. There is so many things you can do with this section of your account. Here you can give some insight into who you are or who your brand is over on this About section. Again, it's that getting to like, know, and trust you factor, which is massive in marketing. You can direct people to your website here. So in this example, we can see that there are links to this brand's website as well as their email list. So you can direct people to your website, your email list, your lead magnet, your other books, your social media. The Author Central page also has a list of all your other books, so your customers can browse your bookshelf in one place and, hopefully make some spontaneous purchases of your other books. There is also this awesome little follow button. So if people do like the current books that you have, they can click follow. And then when you release a new book or when you upload a new book, anyone who follows you will get an email from Amazon notifying them that you have new books. So all you need to do here is go to your Author Central account, enter some information about you or your brand, whatever it is you want to say on that left-hand column there. And then you just need to add books to your Author Central account and they will start showing up on this Author Central page. Now, not only that, you can also link up blog posts from your blog if you have one. You can post updates. You can also upload images or videos into this Author Central page. It is a really handy little section of your KDP account that you can really push and promote you, your brand, your websites, your social media. It's where you can add videos and photos that perhaps you can't get on your Amazon sales page for the product. And I really don't think many people take advantage of this part. So that is my 10 tips on ways to sell more books on Amazon KDP, and I really hope that you got something out of it. I'll see you in the next video.